Hello, good morning everyone. Today we are going to review the filter configuration on markers. As we saw on previous videos, we talked about the creation of a filter condition for markers. So it doesn't take all the signals, but only those that are in agreement with the filter. Those filters can be calculated on current chart or even on a second chart. And most important is that this second chart can be of a different time frame. For example, we are trading on a range 6, which is a fast time frame. And let's say, for example, the other day one customer asked about using the DM indicator because he wanted to trade shorts when the positive DL was below the negative DL. So trading short in this area, trading long in this area. But the problem is that he wanted to apply this filter on a second slower time frame. So the way to do this is the same as before. The only difference is that we apply the conditions on a second time frame. For example, let's say that we want to execute this filter. So first we need to copy these two lines, the red and the blue. For that we use the copy indicator. We set the input, on input series we put the name of the indicator, which on this example is the DM. The DM has 3 lines, but I am going to copy the positive and let's call it plus. And then I'm going to copy the red line. It is also the same indicator, the DM, but with the other line, the negative, minus DL. So the name for this line will be minus. We can use any name. So I have plus, minus, and I will paint this in red. So here we have the 2 lines, we can overlap one each other, and we can see that both are the same line. So I don't need anymore the original indicator, I only keep the copied lines. Now I want to know the difference between each line. So when the blue is below the red, I only short, and when the blue is above the red, I only go long. For that I can use the diff indicator, the difference indicator, which is included on the crossover. The crossover calculates the difference between 2 lines. One line was called plus, the other line was called minus, so I calculate the difference between plus and minus. And let's call the result result. And this is what we get. This histogram is the difference between those 2 lines. It is positive because the blue is over the red. It is negative because the red is over the blue. We also get signal arrows when there is a crossover. On this example I don't need the crossover signals, so I can disable on here, because I am only interested in this result. This value is copied to the result variable. Now I can use this on markers. Remember that all these calculations for filters are on a slow time frame. It is different. It can be even a different instrument. Not sure how can we use that, but this can be any instrument, any time frame. So the result that we calculate from this chart, we can use on our trading chart on markers. On the auxiliary plot filters, we can enable, and then we use the variable that we defined here. So for taking a long, I want a positive result. So the minimum value is 0 because I want it positive for longs. And for shorts, I want that result to be negative. So the maximum value is 0. When I enable a filter, I get the result at the following incoming tick on the upper right corner. So I know that if I get an object that triggers an order, currently I am triggering longs on any blue object, triggering shorts on any red object. But for this example, I am avoiding shorts because the result on this other time frame is positive. So only taking longs. And this is calculated real time. Remember that this is a different chart from this other, but it is using a filter calculated on a second time frame. We can see how real time, when this is negative, it will be avoiding longs. We need the red line crossing above the blue. And here we are. It is negative, the histogram is negative because the blue is now below the red line. And now we are avoiding longs, only taking shorts. Okay, I hope this has been very useful for your logical conditions creation. You can see that you have a very powerful trace and tab configuration tool. If you have any question, post it below the video. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.